Hey Jaguars, we are so excited to welcome you guys back on Tuesday, January 19th. While we'll still be in our A-B hybrid, and we're seeing half of you guys on A days, half on B days, and then on Fridays we're all virtual, we are so excited to get to welcome you back into the building, have our hallways with your laughter, with the conversation and with the hustle and bustle that goes along with an in-person school. There's a lot of things that we had in place when we went out in November that we're going to have in place again here when we return on January 19th. Mr. Riddle and Mr. Keneally are going to talk about those, share some of those structures with you. But know that we are here to support you, we are here to be with you, and we are here to educate and work with you over the next couple months as we wrap up the 2020-2021 school year. So, without further ado, I'm going to pass it off to these two. See that rhyming that I did there? But I have to, give you a dad joke because why not? What are a pirate's favorite grades? High C's. That's good. And you know it's good, so you can pretend like it's not. But that's the best part of us coming back to school. On announcements, you're going to get a joke every day. We love you. We're so excited to have you guys come back. If you need anything at all, make sure you're reaching out. Go Jaguars.
East High, welcome to the spring semester. Boy, we are excited to see you guys next week. And efforts to ensure that every Jaguar acts responsibly, stays self-aware, and thinks of others. We got some quick expectations that we just wanted to hit because, as we know, this year is weird. And you haven't been in school for quite a while, so we wanted to share some important notes with you. Attendance and notes, please make sure you remember that when you miss a day, whether you're virtual or in person, to turn in that parent note. You can do that via email, and you can send it to Miss Fugate. That information is on our website. Or you can send it to myself, john.keneally at jessamine.kyschools.us, and I'll be able to forward that to the appropriate parties. You can also turn in a doctor's note. Those can be faxed. And that needs to be faxed directly from the doctor's office. That is a new policy this year, district-wide. So please remember, if you miss a day or if you are not logged on for a certain circumstance, use your parent notes, use your doctor's notes, and don't forget, juniors and seniors, if you're going on a college visit, you have 2 college visits in a school year, get that information to us and we'll be able to have excused information in there. Because one thing I'd hate to pop up is the no pass, no drive, because a fair reminder, a state law states that you cannot have your driver's license if you have more than 9 unexcused absences in a semester and are failing more than 2 classes. So please be aware of that. We want to make sure we're helping you out. Any questions, do not hesitate to reach out to us.
So when you're coming back in the building, the big thing we got to remember are face masks are on. When we're moving, when we're sitting at our desks, masks are on at all times. The lone exception is when you're eating and drinking. There is still not allowed to be food in the classroom, but you are allowed to have your water bottles with you. Please remember to bring those bottles with you because we'll still have our water fill-up stations located around the school, and we want you to take advantage of that. Make sure that your masks, when you're wearing them, fit your face, nose to the bottom of your chin. They're tight on there. We still have our expectations that if teachers have to correct you on it, you'll get sent down and we'll have a conversation about how to wear masks properly. The last part is face coverings. These masks need to follow the school dress code about what's appropriate to wear on your masks. You can see that in the school dress code.
Personal telecommunication devices and electronic devices. That includes earpods, earbuds, cell phones, iPads, or even iWatches. Please know that inside of the class there is 0 tolerance for that. Please be mindful of that, and please make sure that your devices are silenced and in your pockets and away and out of sight. The school hall passes, remember those blue passes that we have. Anytime you are not in your classroom, you're going to the restroom, you're coming to visit the front office to pick something up, you need to have a hall pass with you. If you do not have a hall pass given to you by your teacher and you are stopped in the hallway, it is an automatic 30-minute detention. So please make sure that when we're moving about the halls during class, we have that hall pass. Reminders about detentions. Detentions can be served before school, after school, or during lunch. Those are 30 minutes, and it is important that you sign in at any location that you do so.
Tardies to class. Remember, if you are not physically in the classroom when the bell rings, you are tardy. Mr. Keneally and myself will be walking around the halls along with teachers at the end of each class. Once that detention is assigned, you have 5 days to serve that detention. It's 30 minutes. Detention can be done before school or after school, right outside Mr. Keneally and my office in the front office. It can also be served during lunch. And truthfully, that's your best and your quickest way to get it done because it actually only ends up being about 25 minutes. Once you grab your lunch from outside the gym or the cafeteria, you go upstairs to the step room 705. But again, it is your job to make sure that you sign in. If you show up to detention and don't sign in, it's like you weren't even there, okay? Again, 5 days to serve that detention. If you do not, it turns into a Monday school.
Please make sure if you just obtained your driver's license over this break while we haven't been at school, that you see Miss Karen Turner at the front desk office to get your parking pass. You can get the application from her, and you can also pay according to what the school policy is as well.
Right. Skipping. When you're in the building, we need to know where you're at all times. So if you're supposed to be in Mr. K's second period class, you need to be there. If you are caught skipping, if you do not sign out properly when you leave school, you will be issued a Monday school.
Please be mindful of dress code as we come back. You can see on page 34 in our student handbook what our policy states in regards to dress code. An important item I do want to pull out because it is a new dress code item that has been approved. All students are expected to adhere to common practices of modesty, cleanliness, and neatness, and to dress in such a manner as to contribute to the academic atmosphere. Any clothing, object, or writing on clothing that refers to alcohol, tobacco, drugs, gangs, sexual innuendos, foul language, or is otherwise disruptive to the educational process is prohibited. Examples include, but are not limited to, the Confederate flag, depictions of guns, profanity, or nudity.
Your lunch, again, at the end of the school or at the end of first semester, we switched to a first lunch and second lunch. We got rid of that middle lunch. That will still be the same case. So on this screen, you'll be able to see when you go to lunch. English classes and social studies classes will be first lunch, and you will report to the gymnasium. You can see the rest of the list on there. Please take a moment to find when your class goes to lunch.
Trends that we have been seeing, we've gotten some feedback from our PBIS team and from other staff members. We just wanted to push it out to the whole student body. Be mindful of your email. The email is the most dependable way teachers, faculty, and staff can get a hold of you. Please make sure you're checking on that. There's very important information that's pushed out from your teachers in that information. And don't hesitate to reach out to any of your teachers in any times of concern. The other piece is Infinite Campus. Always be checking on your grades. Always be checking on your attendance. We don't know where there might be a mistake. Please make sure you're checking on that and making sure it's showing exactly what you think it ought to.
And the last piece on this PowerPoint slide is our safety procedures and protocols that you saw at the beginning of the school year. Those are still the same, one-way hallways or one-way traffic flow in the hallways. All of that information is on there. Take a few minutes and go back and look at that. Also, you've got a video from Mr. Hobbolt explaining the hybrid schedule in detail. But those are the last two slides on there for you guys to look at on your own time.
The last piece that I'll really hit on is our attendance piece. When you are asynchronous, when you are at home with the attendance, make sure that you know that the new attendance that we're pushing towards, again, another change, is that you sign in on Infinite Campus and log yourself presence once between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. That is how your attendance will be done. So not every class period, you just need to go into Infinite Campus once and check yourself present on those asynchronous days. Again, every Jaguar acts responsibly, stays self-aware, and thinks of others. And with that in mind, we're looking forward to seeing you next week and watching you guys finish out your spring semester. Go Jaguars!